Yo, what's the deal? This is gonna be a little video of computer talk. One of the guys had messaged me something about AlphaCool. What kind of loop I had, and I have made a comment on the video with this German dude doing a video about the water block. There's a problem with the water block. Unless they made a revision, these threads here are too long. I had to use the elbow threads because they're shorter. The elbow threads come, they're like right there. So they're short. So when I started using these, which I have a whole bunch of this, and I got a triple radiator there, I got tubes, extensions, and all that. I have a whole well investment in liquid cooling. And I would only go that route dealing with the PC. That's just my personal preference. All right, let me open this baby up. All right. And I used to build computers back in the day. As you can see, I got a system already in there, ready to go. That's a shell that I got. I got another one in the room. So yeah, this is just, my hobby. And I worked in this other hospital when I was in New Jersey, and I built systems for a whole bunch of people that had mad dough. So they wanted to do a system. So, all right, so this is my loop. All right, so... now this may not be the prettiest for some people, but that's just. And I got my two fans up there with my radiator. This is a dual chamber case. I got my hard drives back down there, and my power supply is back down there too. And then so this is my loop. That's my pump, and that's a 200 millimeter fan. And if you have a case, or if you can ever find a case that supports 200 millimeter fans, I recommend it. This thing pulls so much air into the system. Man, this is like all you need. This is freaking. I could put a lighter here and it'll just blow it out. So that's my tank, and then it shoots into the block. Now I had to use these elbows because they're short. I didn't want to use this. I didn't know this at the time, but I used the regular ones I just showed you. I had used, and I had popped them up, and they popped out a little bit. So when I had ran the system, the damn fluid just squirted all over, and I was like, man, I was pissed. But I guess it was my stupid fault. But I'm not paying attention to the actual threads, but these threads here are shorter. They're like really, really short. So then I have a van. I have a little a Corsair van. I put it down here because I wanted to keep the VRMs cool, and they're cold as heck. I have another 32 gigs of RAM I just haven't even bothered putting into yet. So I have my line running into here. I had to use two elbows, and I had to shoot it into the graphics card. Now keep in mind, this is the AMD, I forgot what is it, 1920X. The CPU was $800. That's behind this block. So I got it for $200 on Amazon, but I had a $150 gift card, so I only paid $50 for it. The case was like the motherboard's about like $350. I got it for like $299 or $290. Because I had gift cards, and so now I have my code loop going to the CPU, and then from here I go into the graphics card, and now the graphics card is shooting up into the radiator. So this is all one loop. Now I have so many radiators to where the different cases that I've had. I had it to where the processor had its own radiator and it shot into the graphics card. But this is so cold that for this kind of one loop, it doesn't even matter, man. This thing stays freaking cold. And I'm going to show you my temperatures. So, and then that's my RGB lights there. And then that's pretty much it. So that's how I did my loop. Now I was going to get another fan, one like this to put down here, a 140 millimeter fan. But, due to economy, we got our checks, and, I work at a hospital. So, right now I'm just saving my money and using it for food and bills. I'm not spending on anything foolish because there's a time to be wise. Unless you got money to throw away like that, then hey, that's your choice of what you want to do. And that's just pretty it. That's just pretty it with my loop. All the wires and everything, since it's a dual chamber, are all on the other side, which I had. This case came with its own little zip tie, so you could run the lines through. That's pretty much it. And like I said, I've been building systems since 2003. And then now this is my temperatures. I got my motherboards at 27, my CPU's at 30. Another part of the CPU temperature is at 31. The socket's at 30. The chipset is at 46. For some people, they have reported this to be like 65 Celsius or freaking 50 Celsius or higher. My power supply is 33. Now this is all in Celsius. 26. My VRMs is 30. And then the GPU sitting at 33. So therefore, and I also have a sensor in the tank, which I had to open up this program to show you what the actual fluid temperature is versus when the fluid hits the metals and how much of a difference it is. Cold, only a couple of degrees, so not right now. So my CPU, whatever the temperature, I mean, it's the temperature that it is. So when it gets warm, it dumps it into the GPU. So they're not off. They're only off by 2 degrees, so that's good. You know, it's not like, you know, your CPU is cooking and it's like 40 and then your GPU's at like 50 and, you know, all that heat dumping into it. But then also, there's a little, in that little ice dock, there's also a little, how you say, a little switch that you can make the pump go faster, so it speeds up the fluid right through the thing, or through the loop. So, you know, so therefore it can go through that stuff really fast. And then you got my hard drives here, S30, and my SSD. I haven't gotten a M.2 yet, or NVMe, because just like I said, just due to the economy, I don't, you know, I have built this system before the chaos then starts. So, and then why have a system like this? This is just so overkill and so massive that it's really no point of having it. But I didn't build this system for a, you know, because I just did it just cause. And one of my dogs from New Jersey, he built this, we kind of did it the same, and he done spent like probably $4,000. I don't even know, man, it's a sick crap. But you know, when we get down on systems, we get down, that's just what we do. And then you can see all your threads here, all your CPU threads. Now, when you start to notice that this is so massive, and it has so much, 24 threads. So, I'm using Windows Enterprise, because when I was using Windows Windows 10 Pro, I started to notice that some of the threads it wouldn't even be utilizing. You know, and I heard that the Enterprise was good for the AMD Threadrippers and also the AMD EPYC, because those are server CPUs. So like having a kind of system like this, and for what I use, it's really no sense to having it. I just got it just cause. You know, I don't build systems because, whether or not if I'm trying to go play the best game. I don't really game like that. You know, I used to do that back in the day and all that, but now I just casually game every now and then when I could get up with my family and friends. But see, so with Windows Pro 10, would you start to notice like some of these are blank here? They're not being utilized. If I start to do things, you'll start to see them because it's how it's balancing the workload. And this is one thing that's different from the Enterprise versus Windows 10 Pro. So when you go with the 10 Pro, I was only using about, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It was only using like 8 to 9 threads, because that's what the stuff, you know, some of the games are coded for. Some of the applications are coded for. With the Enterprise, it tries to utilize more of your threads, so therefore it could attack the workload that's coming through. So, but like I said, right now it's idle, so that's why you see